have the head and the hand at your house.
The head, I put, because it was starting to stink, I was planning on throwing the head and hands away. Not in the trash bag, not in the kitchen trash, but they were both in trash bags. The head was in a trash bag, I tied up the trash bag. Hands, I put in a trash bag as well. They were in Ziploc bags. And I was planning, do they sell empty paint buckets? I was planning to buy an empty paint bucket, put the head in it, seal it, and then I was going to throw it off in some ditch.
Okay.
The hands I would throw in a different spot, wherever.
I'm sorry, I just want to make sure I have it right. The head is inside of a trash bag.
It was.
Well, where is it now?
In the kitchen sink. My parents searched through my room and they found the head and hands.
Okay, and so are the head and the hands in the kitchen sink now?
Last time I checked.
Okay, so they're in the kitchen sink now because your parents put them there.
But they were in my closet.
As of now, investigators have only found a head, hands, and several pieces of arm. That leaves the mystery of where the rest of Warren Barnes is.
What exact kind of trash bag?
White.
White, like a kitchen one, or what? Like
a kitchen.
Okay, white kitchen.
One that you put in a trash can.
Yeah. And then what about the hands? They were inside Ziplocs, you said.
Both in the same. Both in a different trash bag.
Okay, the white kitchen trash bag.
Yes.
But now they're in the kitchen sink.
Yes.
And you talked about cutting. I used to be a meat cutter. I know it's not easy, just cut off hands.
Oh yeah, it was with the knife. I was just.
So did you practice on anything else?
No.
Or how did you know how to do it?
No, I just went along as a process. The bones, I just pressed the blade down and went. Sever them at the ligaments.
Okay. And how hard was it to do that? To get them actually?
Not particularly hard. I was just more frustrated that I broke this bone.
So if you hadn't got frustrated, what was your... I mean, it sounds like what you did, we know. Did you have a different plan? Why
the original, because I always wanted to know what it felt like to cut up someone.
Okay.
So, just...
So why did you stop? Where did you stop?
Because the arms were just... That's it. And that's all I wanted to know was like cutting off a limb. And I'm just like, okay.
Again, the mind reels when confronted with the nonchalant attitude Brian has toward discussing the murder and dismemberment of a human being.
And you said you studied criminology and forensics and all that?
I not college study or school study. It's like a passing interest.
I understand. But what were you worried about, like leaving evidence behind or being caught?
Totally.
So tell me about that and what you did then.
Well, I was figuring the police don't, this is not to be taken offense, but police, they don't seem to care as much about high-risk individuals, homeless people, prostitutes, etc. So I was deliberately looking for someone who lived that type of life.
Okay.
And I found a homeless person, and the original goal was just leave him there. But I was worried about the fibers on the outfit I was wearing that would be on his clothes and stuff. So I deliberately messed up the clothes.
This is an outstanding amount of premeditation for a youth offender. It's a shocking amount for anyone, but particularly because of his age. His executive functioning is years from being developed, and yet he's thought so much of this through. It's chilling to think what he may have been capable of had he not been caught. Brian remains engaged, casual, and even jovial as he describes his mindset on the night of the murder. His detailed concerns about getting caught will make it very difficult for his lawyers to mount an effective insanity defense. According to Kylan Light's mother, Heather Gale, this isn't the first time that Brian talked about choosing a victim on the outskirts of society.
Anything else things you've heard from Kylan come to mind?
She told me that he had mentioned that he was going to kill a homeless person because nobody would miss them and he could get away with it.
Yet once in an interview, Kylan tells a different story.
He never talked to me about wanting to kill a homeless person specifically, but he definitely talked to me a lot about, killing. And I was actually surprised because I figured that if he was going to do something like this, that it would be on a larger scale. I thought he would, I don't want to sound vulgar, but I figured if he was going to snap, it would be like shooting up a store or something similar like that. And he had mentioned, not liking his neighbors, so I thought maybe something would happen there. So I was surprised that he had killed someone, but I was also surprised surprised that it had only been one person.
So how long have you been planning or looking for someone to do this with before you found this guy?